Hello, YouTube. Today I'm going to actually do a build video on my IGO W14. On my previous videos that I've done on this particular atomizer, I've always done the build and then made the video. Well, today I'm actually going to show the build on camera. Okay, this is the W14. Nice atomizer. It's actually become my daily vape. I love it. Okay. Center post has 3 holes in it. And you got 3 negatives on the outside that are milled on to the juice well. Very nice. The build I'm going to do today is a twisted 24 gauge microcoils. I'm going to wrap these coils around 7/64. Again, my favorite size to use for building the majority of my coils. And the reason for that is because of the fact that you can put a bigger piece of cotton in there and make, for better wicking. So first thing we're going to do, 24 gauge Kanthal. Okay, I'm going to peel off, nice size here. Straighten it out a little bit. Now typically I don't torch my wires before I build my coils. But whenever I'm doing a twisted coil, I torch it after I twist it. Makes it so much easier to form your coils when you're putting them into the atomizer, because you get rid of the springiness. So what I'm going to do here, bear with me, is get my jigs that I had made to do the tri-coil on my atomizer. These jigs are the 7/64 rods that I had fabricated here for doing my builds. I built or made 3 of these rods just for doing the W14. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is I peeled off a nice length of wire. Okay, fold it in half. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to twist them. Use a little Makita. Okay. The 24 gauge twisted has been my favorite build in this atomizer. I've tried other builds, I've tried parallel builds and horizontal builds and everything, and I keep going back to the twisted verticals. It seems to produce so much nicer. Now when I'm doing the twist, you want to make sure that the wire is twisted nice and tight and uniform, of course. And what we get once the wire is twisted, let's see if I can get a focus on it. There we go. See that? Very nice. It's a uniform twist all the way through. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to torch the wire. Okay, we're going to get this nice and torched so we can get rid of the springiness. Looks like my torch is running out of butane here. You know what? Better yet, bear with me. I'm going to light up my big torch. This will make it a lot faster. Bear with me. So you can see what I'm doing. Okay, let's let that wire cool down a little bit. Hot. So what I'm going to do on here is I'm going to build 3 identical coils. So what we're going to do is I'm actually going to do a 4-3 wrap. So that means you're going to see four wraps there. Okay, now the nice thing about torching the wire first, let me zoom in on this for you. The nice thing about torching the wire first is once you start to wrap it, it pretty much holds its shape. 3, 4. Okay, so on this coil, what we're going to do is we're going to leave it at a 45 degrees. Okay. Now I'm just going to pull it snug to tighten it up around my die here. Make sure we got a nice tension around that bit. So at this point, what we want to do is make sure, actually one more wrap on that. So what we're doing is we're doing 4 wraps on the outside. 4 wraps on the outside. We have the 45 right here on the inside of the cross of the 2 legs. Okay, and for that reason, what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim off. This is going to be a vertical coil. So what we're going to do first off is we're going to actually take some needle nose pliers right there at the top of the coil, and I'm going to put a little bend in here, and this is going to actually meet up with my center post. Okay, I'm going to get this formed, and then I will put it up close to show you what it looks like on camera after the actual coil is wrapped and built. Let's get this thing nicely formed here. So what we want to do is make sure when we put that wire in the center post, see if I get this closer on the camera for you. A small bend on the bottom leg, which is going to connect to the negative. So what we have here, this is what the coil looks like. Okay, I'm going to take and trim off the negative leg a little bit, and when we slip this into the atomizer, we will slip this over the negative screw. Get a focus on it. There we go. You see how that looks? Lined right up. Okay, we're going to do 2 more of those coils, and then we're going to get it all tightened down. Now what I do is I'm going to pinch the negative side around the screw, so when I tighten it, it doesn't move. Okay, looks good, right? Okay, let's make 2 more of those coils. One, 3, 4. See how it's going to line up on the atomizer? Let's cut that positive down just a little bit more. Sorry, just dropped the coil. Okay, again, here we go. We have the coil. It looks like that. Trim off the negative leg a little bit. See how it sits in there and make sure if I have to trim anything else. Okay, so this is what it looks like with two coils on the atomizer now. Okay, then I'm going to pinch the negative. And that's what the negative pinched on both coils now. I'm going to trim off some of that negative leg after the fact. Okay, and do the third coil. Nice thing about doing the twisteds on this atomizer is you can actually pre-build the coils without even putting them on the atomizer right away. Once you've done a build on here, a couple builds, you can actually just remember exactly how to build the coils, do all your bends. Once we get the 3 coils in the hole, each respective hole, we're going to tighten down the center screw. If you hear music in the background, don't mind that. That's my daughter and her boyfriend just got home. Okay, I haven't tightened down the negative posts yet, but this is what it looks like. And then I'm obviously going to straighten out all the coils and burn them and pinch them. Get a focus on here. Come on, focus, camera. Now when you're doing twisted coils, you want to make sure when you're tightening your negative posts that the wire isn't sticking out the side right here. Otherwise you'll have a problem getting the outside sleeve over the wire. Okay, now that you got everything tightened, you can slip your drill bit or your rods into each coil and straighten them out. Do any adjustments. This is what it looks like, kind of semi-straightened out. Come on, focus. Alright, let's see here. This camera is being a pain in my ass. Let me try zooming out. I want to give you a good picture of these coils. Okay, this is about as good as I'm going to be able to show you, I guess. Okay, now, they're not burned yet, okay, but this is what they look like from the side view. Okay, once I dry burn them, I'm going to pinch them, straighten them out, and that's what she looks like. Okay, pretty handsome, eh? Okay, now you can actually get a good picture of my coils. There we go. Had to trick the camera. Oh, well, no, maybe not. Camera's tricking me. So, let's go ahead and get a burn on these. See what they look like right off the top. Got a couple hot spots. In case if you're wondering, this is my Stingray 26650 mod. Now we should be getting more of an even heat. Yes, we are. Not perfect yet, but it's a lot better. It's actually a very nice build on this atomizer. It's flavorful. It's really cloudy. Okay, let's see. They burning even. Looks like I may have to change my battery here in a minute. Very nice. Okay. Now we just double check all our connections. Always a good idea to recheck your connections after you do your dry burn, because sometimes you get a little bit more tightening out of them, and it does affect your resistance reading on your meter. A little fine tuning. Oh yeah, very nice. Very, very, very nice. Bring this one up just a tad. Okay, so here we go. Nice, very nice. They're burning nice and even. Okay, we're gonna wick this up. Change the battery while I'm before I wick it, while I wait for it to cool down. Panasonic 26650s. Okay, what I want to do here is I want to test the resistance on this build. Let's see if I can get my addy off here now. There we go. Wasn't so bad. Usually when I torque down on it when I'm building, I have a problem getting the addy back off of the mod. Switch my adapter around. Let's see here. See what kind of a reading we get. Give me 1 second here. It's not reading. My atomizer. Maybe my adapter needs to be this way. See if it gives me a reading. No reading. I think my voltmeter or my ohm meter is actually took a dump finally. Bear with me for 1 second. Sorry, I would pause the video and come back, but I don't edit my videos. My videos are one shot, one kill. Let me try this here. I'm going to stick a magnet in there. Bear with me. Stick a magnet in the center pin area there. See if this will make a connection for me. Well, I guess, sorry folks, I'm not going to be able to show you what this ohms out at because my center pin, for some reason, looks like, oh, I must have jacked up my ohm reader. See, my ohm reader that is pushed in. This build, just from experience, ohms out at 0.2, about 0.23 ohms. Take my word for it, we're good. Looks like I gotta tear apart my ohm reader and try to fix that. See how I can get that center pin back out of there. So let's get it back on the mod and let's get her wicked up. Today I'm gonna go ahead and use standard cotton. I usually use my unbleached organic, but I have this cotton on my desk already, so I might as well just use it. So what we're going to do is take a nice chunk of cotton like so. Looks pretty thick, but it's fluffy. It is a little bit thick for a lot of coil builds, but for this build here, being like I use the 7/64 diameter, we could pull this cotton right through those coils. You don't want it really loose, but you don't want it really tight. Let me put a zoom on this so you can see what I'm doing here. Bear with me. Okay, so what we got here, we got a nice little rabbit top on the top there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tuck this tail of cotton down in the well here. Okay, that's what it looks like there. Then we're going to do two more. I can do this without blocking the camera. So as you're pulling it through, you want to, if it's a little bit snug, you want to be able to go up and down like that. Bring it down just a little bit more. Okay, we're good. I'm going to tuck this tail of cotton down in the well there. Now you can stuff a ass load of cotton in this atomizer if you want. Any more than what I'm doing right now, I don't feel I need to do. I have done it where I've had a buttload of cotton in there after the fact. That's add more cotton, but actually I noticed it reduced the amount of juice I can get in there, and it didn't make any difference on the wicking. Actually, I think the wicking actually got a little bit worse. So just using the cotton that's getting stuffed down into that well is sufficient. Okay, now that we've gotten that, what I'm going to do here, I do my carrot top effect. And what I do is I trim these cottons to about a quarter, probably about an 1/8 inch above the center pin screw. And what it looks like when I'm said and done, if I spread these out, you can see the center pin. So what I do with these is I just bunch them up right in the middle there. And the reason for doing this is when you're dripping through the top, through your drip tip, it goes right into that, and it actually saturates your coils really quick. And it does draw down and soak up into your juice well as well. And anything that overflows off the top of that, anything goes around there, it drops right into the well. So that's what it looks like all wicked up. Okay, see, the bottom of that juice well is covered in cotton. Let's get this juiced up. Yes, you guessed it, strawberry custard. Or thick vanilla custard and strawberry. Freaking delicious. And yes, you guessed it, steam juice. It's my favorite juice manufacturer. I should own stocks in their company as much as I buy from them. Okay, so let's get these started off with the wicking, and then I'm going to go ahead and juice up in the bottom well there. And then we're going to give it a vape. Now this atomizer holds a shit ton of juice. It's pretty nice that the atomizer RDA builders have actually changed it up a little bit and created their giant juice wells. Kind of changes the term dripping. Because now you're not actually dripping every 5 hits. Unless you're really super sub-ohming. I'll fill this up with about 30 drops after the cotton has been saturated. About 30 drops, and it'll give me a good maybe 15 decent hits off of it before I have to rejuice it again. Okay, so yeah, this bottle was up here. That's how much juice I just put into there right now. I mean, it's well saturated now. So let's give it a hit. Yeah, she's freaking, ow, it's hot. Let me just zoom back out. We're going to come out and we're going to do a vape on it. Got to get ready for it too, because a brand new build is always hotter. Once I burn those coils in some and break them in, the vape will get cooler. Well, it seemed like it gets a little cooler. Got my air holes wide open. That's how I like it. Like a nice wide open draw, and this atomizer gives you a wide open draw. No questions asked. So, folks, here we go. Let's give her a vape. Nothing like a brand new build. Brand new builds are so nice, they're so flavorful, it's hot. You have no gunk buildup on the coils yet. So folks, there you have it. That is the beginning to end build on the IGO W14. Again, that is on my Stingray 26650 mod. Looks like I got a little juice on there, sorry. Stingray, very nice mod. Well, I hope you enjoy. And if you have any concerns or any comments or any ideas on what type of a build you would like on the IGO W14, post them down below, and I will do what I can on it. I like to build and experiment. So we'll go from there. Well, everybody, have a great day and vape on.